We all know D.C. is the nation's capital, but in the capital city, D.C. is the heart of the fan base. Number 13 was majestic as part of the greatest show on court.
Gets it to Christie. Oh, what an effort by Weber to set up Doug Christie. Doug Christie with his 6th three-pointer of the game.
As a studio analyst, he brought his quirkiness to the kingdom.
Hand it. And then we run. That's it.
And now, he's giving us the royal treatment as the heir to the Jerry Reynolds throne.
Oh, Willie Cauley-Stein.
Where do you put it, Willie? On his head.
Join us as we sit down with a Kings legend to discuss his transition from hitting shots on the hardwood to calling shots on the sideline.
To be able to do this job and have fun and watch these guys compete, go to practice, see them improve, there's nothing like it.
I'm Jim Kozimor. He's Doug Christie, and this is Kings Central.
So whenever you want a King Central, you want to have your most popular people. I brought my good friend Doug Christie, former Kings great, Doug Christie, onto the show. Doug, thanks for joining us here on King Central.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you. How you been?
Things are going very well. I'm faring okay without you. You've been by my side the past couple of seasons, but I'm in good hands with Jerry Reynolds.
Oh, yes.
Which leads me to my first question for you. How's the transition been, going from the pre- and post-game shows to the sidelines with Grant?
It's been awesome more than anything. When I thought about it, people say, oh, the traveling. To me, I don't mind the traveling too much because after playing so long, but preparation is a little bit different because now you really got to dig into both teams and have little pithy bits of information and what have you. Grant has been awesome. Jerry's been awesome because I talked to him and asked him questions. To watch professional athletes, professional basketball players courtside is a special, special thing. If you've never done it and some of our viewers haven't, I highly encourage you to go do it because it's spectacular to watch a guy like De'Aaron Fox in running so fast, and then a guy as big as Willie Cauley-Stein to run with him is kind of mind-blowing. But man, more than anything, I enjoy having fun. I had fun when I played. I like to have fun in my life, and to be able to do this job and have fun and watch these guys compete, go to practice, see them improve, there's nothing like it.
When did you start to think, hey, I might like to try to do this?
So I went to Pepperdine, and when I went there, I went for communications. I walked in, I looked at the room, and I was just like, nah, this isn't for me. Lo and behold, here I am. So after I was finished playing, my wife goes, there's this new thing, it's called Block Talk Radio, and you want to start a radio show? I'm like, nah, you can though. So we started a show, Infinite Love Radio. You see how I did that? I said, nah, we started a show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Infinite Love Talk Radio. Today we will be covering the NCAA basketball tournament, boxing, the NBA, NFL. We will be jumping all over.
But what we would do is we would talk about love and romance and lifestyle and all these different things, and we had a sporting section. So each week I'd talk about sports, and sometimes, she would be over, she'd go, keep going,
Really?
keep going. So I would just kind of figure out stuff to keep on going about. And lo and behold, the Kings called me one day and wanted me to do some radio. Radio turned into television. Television kind of kept going. So I don't know that I ever said to myself, that's what I want to do, because as you know, I love teaching basketball and a lot of different things. But it's worked out. I've had people like yourself, people like Grant, people like Jerry who have encouraged me, helped me. I like to ask a lot of questions, and luckily you guys have given information and the people seem to like it so far.
That's one thing I want to touch on, because so many times in our industry, we do get a chance to work with high-level athletes who come into a situation where they're not used to. You're used to competing at a different level.
Yes.
And when we see you come into the office or see you come into the studio, we think, well, he'll know what to do. How much do you like to be coached as an announcer, as a broadcaster, and have people talk to you about things they like to see you do or want to see you try more of?
Luckily I've been around people who have let me go. But then I go to them and say, was that good? What else would you like to see? What do you think it sounds like? Our producer, Ro, who's fantastic, he's in my ear and he's saying, well, how about this? How about that? And just the ability to talk about it in a different way. And they always have been so far. We really like your perspective. We like what you do. I try to over prepare so that I am, if there's dead time, I got something to give. As you can remember the wet floor game?
Yes, I do. In Philadelphia.
And you're like, okay, here we go, buddy. Let's talk.
Doug Christie, James Ham. I am Jim Kozimor. Let's start with Doug. What are the problems that could occur?
And luckily, obviously you're throwing it up there, but the point is, if you're not prepared, and I try to make sure I'm prepared when I step up there.
Let's say it's a game day, and it's a home game for the Kings, and it's a Monday through a Friday. Take me through a game day for you.
Love you guys. Be good. Love you. Normally when I leave the house, I stop and I get a Vitality Bowl. Yes, Kenzie, are you guys real busy?
Yeah, we're pretty busy right now.
How long would a bowl take? And they created a bowl for me because I go there so much, but some of the money from the bowl, we gave to charity to help a local food bank. So it the synergy was good and kind of worked hand to hand. DC 13 is the name of the bowl. Oh, I'll take this one, but just that. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a good day. All right now. Bye-bye. Take care. Then I swing through Starbucks, grab a coffee. Yes, can I get a grande triple almond milk latte? And that'll do it. Yes. Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. You're on TV. Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Switching up the milk today.
Yeah, you see that? My wife says stay away from the soy, so I'm going.
Apparently that's the thing.
I'm going almond milk today. Thank you. Have a good one. I stop at Sunrise Natural Foods and get me a apple cider vinegar. Get some vittles. Mikey, what's up, big time? How are you, sir? Pretty good. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. How are you, man?
Doing great.
Huh?
How about you?
I can't complain, man.
Looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, and it's always good when we're winning, right? And I normally wash the car, and then I hit the freeway, and I'm down at the arena in usually about 30 minutes or so.
Coming up on King Central.
You don't like that! You don't like NBA basketball!
And he shows me his phone. He goes, man, look at this. And it's us already on the internet. I wasn't excited about it. All right, we're rolling. Now, jump on the freeway, barring any traffic. Got about 25 minutes. On time. When you're early, you're on time. When you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, well, there's a 4-letter word for that one. Man, I don't want to be that. So leave in enough time to, do it in a relaxed fashion. So I can relax, and because once I get down there, got a little prep to do the radio with Grant till right before, game time. So that's usually about 2.5, sometimes 3 hours of radio. What's up, man? I'm all right. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you, man. All is well. What you watching there? Huh?
All the shows that I missed.
Oh. And with Derrick Rose going to the bench, I know that Jeff Teague, like you said, he's not a great defender, is not going to be able to stay in front of De'Aaron Fox. He does stretch the floor and knock down the 3 ball.
I know that NBC Sports California is doing a piece on you for King Central. I hope they got all the notes that you have down here.
I look at you, and it just comes off of his head. And me, I got computers and phones and notes under computers.
You mentioned a couple of people who have helped you along the way. Let's start with the guy you sit right next to, Grant Napier.
Let me tell this gentleman, watch this live TV. Sir, can you move out of the way, please? Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Because I want the nation to be able to see Doug Christie because he's such a good-looking guy.
What advice did he give you going in? I know you guys had a relationship because of the radio show.
Yeah.
But what do you talk about when it comes to games or after games? Do you go over situations where you say, hey, was I supposed to step in there? How is that? What has he done to help you?
Let me count the ways, I guess I would say. So you remember the Vikings were playing the Saints in the playoffs?
Yes.
And the color guy stepped on the other guy.
Yes, I do.
So I go in and I'd say, hey, Grant, what'd you think about that? And he gave me his professional opinion. He's like, it's just not what you're supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. So this year, De'Aaron dunks, and I go, and I hear him getting ready to do his thing. And it didn't make sense to me till afterwards, about 3 minutes later, it's a break. And he shows me his phone. He goes, man, look at this. And it's us already on the internet.
Good defense by Delly.
Fox.
Oh!
You don't like that! You don't like NBA basketball!
I wasn't excited about it. You know why? Because as soon as I saw it, I went, oh, man, I kind of stepped on it a little bit. But Grant has been so good to help me with timing and different things like that. He's like, the first time he said, if I ever stick my hand up in front of you, don't take it disrespectfully, because what I want to do is you need to let the arena breathe sometime, and the people need to hear what's going on and build up of the energy and things like that. So he is just, that's 2 things, but I could go on and on and on because he has been spectacular. Just think, he's been in this business for 30 plus years with this team.
I was a young boy when he started. That's how long it's been.
That's solid. But the wealth of knowledge that I get to draw off of, I so appreciate, and I am humbled that they continue to help me out.
You take a chair that was a legend was sitting in. Jerry
Man.
Reynolds is a Sacramento treasure.
Absolutely.
Visit kings.com/kids club for more information.
Hey, Christie, did you hear that? That's the way it's done.
Everyone knows that. We
Yes.
all do. At all, did you talk to Jerry about what you wanted to do in the job? Or, and Jerry is as gracious a human being as you're going to
Ever.
find. But that had to be a little intimidating, knowing that you were going to enter the chair of a guy who really he's Mr. King. He's Mr. Sacramento King as far as I'm concerned.
He's at every job here. He's he brought the Kings from Kansas City.
Can't get rid of him.
Right. Yeah, it was intimidating. And it got a little more intimidating. I don't really do social media anymore, but when I was on social media, people were like, man, and I was thinking to myself, wow, you're kind of right. But Jerry has this willingness to help me in any way, and it showed me the first time when we did a 3-man booth, and that can get a little weird.
Yeah.
But Jerry was like, do your thing, and me and him talking, and it just made me so comfortable. There's no replacing Jerry Reynolds. I first understood that, and I said to myself, be yourself, and that was the advice that Jerry gave me. Be yourself, do you. People enjoy you, and you'll be fine. And from that point, I just, I hope that they enjoy it. I try to do my best, but I'm no Jerry freaking Reynolds. I know that.
Game days are interesting to watch you from our perch before the game, because we see you walking around talking to players, or you're talking to assistant coaches from the other team, or even the Kings.
Yep.
You might talk to other broadcasters. It's almost like you're getting back into the DNA of when you were a player on the floor.
Yes. You can travel all you want if you don't touch the rim. Go ahead, attaboy.
How important is that for you to get back into the feel of the everyday, and I don't want to call it grind, but the everyday rhythm of being in the NBA lifestyle?
I think it helps because I think the fan hears it, that I was on the floor at 2 p.m. and the first guy out was Buddy Hield, and he shot his shots, and then the announcer came over and I was able to and that is the story, I think, that paints a picture for the people that, man, those guys are really working. They're down there, not me, I'm talking about the players, that they are down there, they're getting it in. So then when they see the finished product on the court, I think they gain a better respect for it.
It's a lot of fun to see because it's guys staying close to the game they love so much.
Yes.
And that's a big part of it. But also here in Sacramento, it's quite unique because if you do walk around before a ball game around the floor, you will see a Doug Christie and a Bobby Jackson and a Peja Stojakovic, and there's a Vlade Divac.
Yeah.
And those names mean something. They carry some weight here in Sacramento.
Yes.
What's it like being with guys who you spent the best part of your professional playing career with these guys, and now you're kind of with them on a regular basis here?
Coast, man, it's the most marvelous thing because we talk about obviously times when we were together, but when we're on the road, we go out to dinner, we're able to hang out, talk about our families, different things, but at the same time, talk basketball. And that's what we did as players that I think is a little bit of a lost art, where we sit down and we're just talking about screen angles. Now, I understand I'm a bit of a nerd for that, but the point is I dig it, and I'm around other people who dig it, and there's nothing like it. On top of just being around them and just harassing each other in the way that we used to harass
Fun
each
loving.
other. Yeah, less hair, little weight, but it's still the same.
Coming up on King Central.
It sounds to me like you're genuinely excited, almost as if a fan would be.
And in and out. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Buddy, the lob, and Bagley. Back to the basket, no problem, the dunk, 98-94.
Throw it up and I grab it backwards and do it for you, man.
Oh, there is no answer for these red-hot Sacramento Kings by Tibbs and the T-Wolves.
The Bohemian flamethrowers on point.
Oh, Willie Cauley-Stein.
Where do you put it, Willie? On his head.
Talk about the love of the game and how much fun you're having, and we get a chance to see some of that because you and Grant have that isolated camera.
Fox! Oh, Cauley-Stein!
Yes.
Right beneath you.
Yeah,
and it's kind of grown into its own animal right now. It's a monster.
It is.
And do you like having people see your reactions, or do you guys think that, oh, it's just us, we can react this way, but all of a sudden thousands are now getting to enjoy this?
That's like reality TV on steroids.
It is.
But you know what? Now after the first couple times, one of our camera guys, Birdie, he's in my ear. He's like, Doug, can you scoot over about 2 inches, lower that camera a little bit, turn to the left. Now I don't really realize that it's there, and we just go. And I think that it's organic, you know. Hopefully they don't get me in a bad way, but the point is, whatever you see is what you see, and our responses are what they are.
What are your expectations going forward? Is there like a bucket list type of an event? Like playoffs would be exciting for you, or are there things outside of this realm where you think, boy, maybe broadcasting could be a bigger thing for me?
When you say what would I like to see, yeah, I'd like to see playoffs. There's a street over here that needs a parade.
There you go.
There
you go.
That's the one thing that is vested more than anything when you talk about myself and Bobby and Peja and Vlade. The vested interest of trying to make that happen because we were so close. And when we look out and we see the fans and the fan base and the passion, you want it for them more than anything else, and that's the thing I want to see.
Are you starting to sense with this team, what do you like about this team, and are you sensing that passion back here?
Yes, the passion is back, I would say, and beginning to build. The one thing that I like about this team, though, is you and I had this talk many times. I said, who are they? Right?
I remember that.
Do you remember that?
What,
how many
what
times?
Are they? Yeah, who are they?
What are they? Who are they? And finally, they've defined, we got a sports car with the ball, and we're taking the governor off, and he's going, and guys run with him. I am so excited about that. That's probably the one thing that excites me the most about anything else. I could talk about the culture and all the different things that I see that are really positive, but defining a style of play, when you go into the gym, people know, oh, Sacramento Kings, they're about to get up and down the court. well done.
Yeah. Yep. And everyone's talking about it.
Yes,
Coaches
sir.
come into this building to play this team, and in their pregame talks, they're talking about this team pushes the ball. We'll score a basket, and they're beating us back the other way. So you're right. They have defined who they are. As part of that definition, though, are there any moments that stand out through the first quarter of the season? Any plays that you remember where you had calls where you were just so excited when if it was a Willie Cauley-Stein dunk or a De'Aaron move? Anything stand out? A couple of plays?
The De'Aaron dunk where I stepped on Grant, that the video went viral, that just stands out more than anything. And you know what continues to happen, Coach, is a score will happen and De'Aaron will be back on top of the other team so fast that I'll just stop in mid-sentence because I know Grant has to take over. And I'm just like, wow. And Grant's just like, well, keep going. But it's hard because what I'm talking about is not happening right now. And the reason is because they don't walk it up the floor. They are on top of you before you can blink.
It's sometimes because your reactions as I hear them, it sounds to me like you're genuinely excited.
And in and out. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Almost as if a fan would be. And a lot of the sounds that you make are as if you bought a seat and you're sitting in section 115.
Buddy!
Ring him up. Uno, dos, tres. It's Buddy Love.
I can't lose that part. I'm a basketball player, but now I'm an announcer. I love the game. I teach the game. When I see it not done right, I have a response. When I see it done correctly, I have a response. And I always just hope that it's the way I run and the people appreciate it.
What was tougher and more challenging? Was it preparing for a game as a player, or was it preparing for a game and preparing for the game and playing the game, or preparing for the game and broadcasting the game? Are there different challenges? Is it any similarity?
Yes, there is similarity because for me, I got a routine. I understand the things that I need to do to feel comfortable to step on the stage. If I'm not prepared, I just like playing in the game, you get exposed and most of the time you get subbed out because you're not prepared. Well, here there's no sub. Well, I guess the sub is you're fired.
Yes.
So there are similarities, but maybe being in front of the camera is a little more difficult because you are on. In the game, you got 6 fouls, you got substitutions, you got different things that you can go to. Basketball came easy. This is a little more work from the standpoint that I want to be good. I don't want to just get up there and say a bunch of stuff and, people are ragging on you. I want to try to deliver to people a good product and try to do my best at it. So this may be a little tougher because of the preparation, and it doesn't come as natural as basketball did. I'm excited to be doing what I'm doing because there's nothing else that you can do where, Coach, I'm this close to the floor. I'm on the plane with the players,
and
okay?
They're paying you to do that, by the way. How about that, huh?
So, yeah, I'm totally excited and happy where I'm at. And like I said, when you're around like a guy like Coach Yeager, to get to watch him do his craft, to go into practice because he allows me to come in there, I suck that stuff up because, like I said, it's a little bit nerdy. I totally get it, but I'm cool with being a basketball nerd because there's nothing like it. It's the best sport in the world.
It's great catching up with you, and it's great understanding what that transition is like to go from excellent world-class athlete, now you're on the broadcast side of things and how it's evolved. And it's just, I know the fans love having you here. So thanks so much for continuing to be an important part of Sacramento.
Appreciate you, big man.
You're the best, my man.
Thank you.
Oh, an offensive foul on Collison.
Oh, there's my all-defensive team man right there. His name is De'Aaron Fox.
This is WWE night here in Golden One
Yes,
Center.
it is.
That was a suplex.
Hey, Yogi, give me 3 from the corner, my friend.